everyone, and welcome to the MSF Roundtable, episode 10. Can you believe it? Woo! Let's see some hype in that chat. That's what I love to see. Guys, this is a very big episode. Oh, I keep saying that, right? Every single episode is the biggest one, right? And it is. We're keeping getting better and stuff like that. We have two guests. So we have Sen Raven. Wow. Amazing, absolutely amazing content creator. Does his own show too, but I'll let him talk about that one as well. And then we have Sage. Xero's on holidays, and so thankfully we could get Sage to jump on and really, he's DJing later. He doesn't know this, but the after party DJ by Sage.
Party.
Yes, please.
Party.
All right, guys. All right, so we're going to kick off. I'm not going to forget Stream Raiders like every other week, I tell you. It's on my second screen. I'm looking at it, so don't worry, we'll be playing that. Sen, welcome to the MSF Roundtable. Please give us a breakdown of your channel and about yourself, TCP, stuff like that.
Well, you can find me every morning, Pacific time, 8:30 a.m. for about an hour and a half, 2 hours for MSF content. A little late on the weekends because sleep is good. And on Thursday evenings, we record the FTH Beyond podcast at twitch.tv/FTH Beyond, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, and that's a weekly recording.
Yep.
And yeah, come on, hang out for that.
And
I'm at 9.4 right now.
Oof, big account. So what we're going to do in the Discord, on the YouTube video, we're going to put a link to the description for that channel. Definitely check it out. It's really good. I usually watch it after the fact because I'm partying with Sage. No offense, bro. No offense.
As long as somebody's watching, I don't care what time you watch it.
No, it's good, bro. It's some really good stuff. All right, so we've got the MSF Roundtable back together. This is my favorite time of the week. Dapper 86. I don't know if you noticed. Boom, different name change. Ooh, baby. All right, bro. What's been going on? Tell us a bit about what's been going on last week.
Well, actually, it's been like 2 weeks for me.
Oh, yeah. Update us.
Yeah, so I'm slowly going through the DD3 nodes with my alt account at 5.2. My main account is, believe almost 9.8. Even though with the new character released and restarts, they don't really increase my roster anymore. So unfortunately, I had to really use ISOs now. So I'm slowly putting ISOs because I keep forgetting about it. And I only remember when I gotta put some golden people. My main account, I finished the Doom Chapter 2. So
Already?
now I can farm for Proxima and Squirrel Girl. And other than that, that's pretty much it. Doing like twice a week, U7 difficulty 5, 100%. That's it.
Sounds good, man. Sounds really good. Goofy, what's been going on?
Not much. So we're still kind of treading through right now what is Dark Dimension 3. We're on Node 6 currently. We're actually close to getting Emma in right now. So right now I'm using Phoenix, Colossus, and Shuri. So we're close to actually getting Emma in. Should be a good time. On the baby account, we are doing Dark Dimension 2, which is a lot more fun than Dark Dimension 3. So I'm actually having a good time there right now. I don't do it as consistently. I'm actually at the Deadpool node now. Which I'm actually looking forward to that node. It's actually a fun node for me, that Deadpool node. So, yeah, nothing other than that, not much going on.
I have to disagree. That Deadpool node when we recorded it was brutal.
I tend to like it.
Crayvis, what has been going on, brother?
This week I have made some adult decisions on my accounts.
Big boy panty decisions.
I have started Gear, Black Widow, and I'm giving a little bit of love to Hawkeye, Hulk, and Cap, so I can start that Nerd Sonic farm, so I can get a Doc Ock on Crayvis. And little baby Crayvis is doing something even more painful, and he's gearing Sin 6. And I mean, he's gearing Sin 6 because he's taking them through villains 7, 1 to 3 because that is the path of least resistance. I know that they got to get up to like 200k to get there, but that was before ISOs and the 2 new ones. So I'm hoping I can skirt that a little below the bar, but we's going to find out here relatively quickly.
You're going to need about
what
200. 240, 245 was the previous number. So you're going to need about 200.
Oh, there's no way I'm going up to that. I'll beat it before that. I don't need to 3-star it. I just need to beat it.
Wow.
That's true. That's true.
Just
I
3
can make them all
to farm
get
it.
through it if I need to. Like I'm not worried about it. They do enough damage on their own. As long as I get them to 6-6-6-4, they'll be fine.
That's true. Nietzsche, what's been going on? You got a tournament tomorrow, I heard.
Yeah, so we have a tournament hosted by Casino. I'm helping out in the background, and I will be commentating on it. Signups are still available if you want to join. There are cash prizes. Me personally, I got my alt account back, so I have a baby account again. It is 6.7, so you can determine whether that's baby or not. And
It's bigger than my real
Baby.
so yeah, that's about where we're at.
Good times. Lex, what's been going on?
What's going on, guys? Yeah, so on my account, I'm approaching 2 million TCP. I'm just finishing up, gearing up, some things here and there. Ultron. I'm doing some Mystic characters, Loki, and then I'm also trying to finish off AV and Scream right now. And then, so with the new, I've been trying to prepare for DD3 because I want to do that next. And so with the new, the new PIM characters that are coming, I'm thinking about using them because they're supposed to be amazing. So because they would work DD3 and then DD4 as well. So I'm thinking about going that road next. And that's about it.
Very nice. Sage, welcome back to the show, brother. What's been going on?
Well, we are doing pretty good. We're growing at a nice pace at now 7.5 since the last time I was on the show. So that's pretty good. And then other than that, getting through Dark Dimension about halfway through now, which is pretty good.
Awesome.
I think I'm 8 or 9 or something like that. I don't know if that's halfway or whatever, but it seems like we're moving at a good pace.
Is it the last node for global?
What's that?
Is it the last node for global?
I think so, yeah. I think.
That's not too bad then.
Yeah.
It's easy from there.
And
I
then,
heard.
the rest of the pretty much working on finishing up farming main characters that were just recently released, like Squirrel Girl, Proxima, all the new guys. So that's actually pretty good. Most of the rosters now finished up at about minimum. They're all about minimum 5 now. So that's just really good with all them. Yeah.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. So I hit 3 million this week. Pretty exciting stuff. So I've graduated from like baby account to slightly bigger baby account, I guess.
Like now you're in kindergarten.
I'm now in kindergarten, maybe grade 1,
I'm still in preschool.
It's pretty exciting stuff. Node 3, we'll showcase them for the stream. Go in there, about 3 minutes of fun, and then you move on to the next part of the game. Other than that, on a personal note, I've got a new series that's come out on YouTube, Analyze This. It's where we do a breakdown of people's rosters and sort of guide them out. We've got the first one, Av, he is in the chat, so definitely if you want to get on that one, hit me up on Discord. So join Discord, hit me up, and you can jump on the show. It'd be really fun. Other than that, life has been pretty good. All right, let's kick it off to the news. All right, some pretty juicy stuff this week. Hey, what's going on? It's not working. It's because we were playing around with it on we were playing around with it for the special. Sorry, guys. All right. First patch we got was well, not the first patch, but the first thing we got was 5.5, right? Release notes. This is the one that came out with Doctor Doom, Satcho, Ghost, Yellow Jacket. Even though Ghost and Yellow Jacket aren't in the game, a couple of tweaks to the ISO, Doom 2 campaign, talking about Dark Dimension 4, plus we saw Doctor Doom, which we talked probably extensively last week. So if you haven't checked that out, go and check that out for our Halloween special. And a couple of other improvements, Gear 15, as well as the increase to patch 80 and a whole bunch of bugs. I'm going to leave the bugs up there. Sen, what is your overall thoughts on the actual patch itself?
The upgrades are, it's basically what we expected. It's nothing huge for the two old characters, and we already know the kits for everybody else. Everybody's looking good.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I really like seeing in it, because when they went into talking about bugs and ISOs, if you see the section, they're talking about the interaction between Skirmisher and Striker for those characters that call in assists. They say it's a bug. They specifically call that out and say that's a bug, that we didn't mean that to happen, but we're gonna leave it in the game and keep an eye on it. So it's the first time that there's been a bug that benefits the players that they didn't just rush out and fix right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. It's something that. All right, guys, ready for the shots? Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. That if it's something that benefits the players, it usually gets fixed, especially if it's their new toy. So there was one big bug with Phoenix. She didn't get the uncanny tag, which came out with this patch. Which Remedex did a great video on showing the ramifications for that. She wasn't getting a whole bunch of benefits, especially in her normal mode, and then when she hit start Phoenix. Sage, what do you think overall about the this patch?
Overall, the patch I think is good. I'd call it probably like a B+. I think the biggest problem is obviously Phoenix. It measures down a lot of the entire roster and what everybody else can do. To be honest, I think most people would probably use the X-Men team as their, second to third ace in the hole. Yeah. So when you have a roster like that, where you play really strong, it's just like baseball. Your first team, they're going to put you in, they're going to put you maybe on base. It's probably going to be your, your Cosmic Thanos with Ebony Maw and Hela and whatever Minerva characters you have with that. Then you have your second ready to go. And let's be honest, Symbiote team is by far one of the most dynamic teams that we've been able to play with. And once those two are gone, if you don't have them, especially in War or in Raid, don't have a Phoenix team that can basically back up where, say, for instance, if your Inhumans team isn't ready to go, and you have an X-Men team that's ready to go, but you have that Phoenix bug, well, that Phoenix bug changes almost everything. That team now is pretty much down to like a 7th down roster, because even though her DPS is high, you're looking at where Colossus isn't taunting. You're looking at certain factors where it might not work out great. So I think overall in that, it really pushes down that patch for me. Even though my team is high, but for a lot of people, they've been saying that there's some issues with it. So I think that's a big deal. At the same time, I think overall the patch is really good. I feel like there's some new fun things with it, making sure that we've got all those new orange gears, which is really cool as well.
So chat's bringing up, and it is a true point, they have fixed it as of today. The Phoenix patch has been fixed, and I showcased that on the stream previously. So it is fixed, but it did come out, and 100%, whilst it wasn't working, obviously it was an oversight by them, but you're 100% right, Sage, that interactions affected War, affected Dark Dimension and stuff like that, because she's not getting a lot of those benefits, especially if you have Colossus and that's your, duo, I guess, for the global nodes. So I'm going to kick off to Goofy. So we've already got the maths out, right? It's I think 2.2 million, and I'm sure chat's going to crucify me before this. I think it's about 2.2 million to go 75 to 80. They haven't really shown any benefit to us getting more gold in the game with the increase. How are you finding the slog to 80? I guess.
So I mean, I'm personally not really worried about it yet because I don't really. My philosophy on level 80 is I'll worry about it when I can actually go to Dark Dimension 4. That's kind of that's just my overall thought process on it. I do think the whole, the cost of the goal is also not as outrageous to me. And the reason why is because, going from 70 to 75 was already like 1.6 or 1.5 or something like that. So, going
I believe it was
from
1.8. I believe it was 1.8. So it's an extra 4.
Yeah, so it's not really that much of a difference going from, and you would have expected it to be higher, right? Going from 75 to 80. So for me, it's not really, the cost is not the issue. It's obviously the fact that you're going to need to invest in some more tunes in order for you to be able to get into Dark Dimension 4. Now, Dark Dimension 4 is not here yet, so there is time for them to find a way to get you more gold. But my issue really is not the gold, it's really more the other things that come with it, like the gear and then also the training mats. I think training mats are going to be a big issue. Maybe not for your later game players, but I would say for someone like myself who's more mid to early late game, thinking about, leveling up characters. You're still leveling up characters right now to get into Dark Dimension 3, most likely, and then later on having to then go into Dark Dimension 4. I think training mats are going to be an issue. It would be nice if they find a way to make gold more available, but thinking about the math of it all, it's not as bad as I thought it was before, because like I said, like the increase in gold is not really that much. If you're smart about it and just kind of map it out for the week, or map it out for, you know me already. I'm a person that will level a character by one every single day, just the resource management way to make sure it works for me. So for me, I don't really see a slog in it. It's just kind of the reality of the game. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't find it too bad. And from what the maths that I've seen in the community, it's pretty much saying like roughly 3 months for us who are cheap to play, free to play even. You're looking at that 3 months. So if you space it out over those 3 months, probably not such a bad thing. Nietzsche, as Sen mentioned, the ISO update that they clarified, the Striker Skirmisher bonus interactions wasn't a big thing. With PvP, are you finding that that combo is being used a lot? And are you thinking that if they do change that'll really hurt the that combo and you have to look somewhere else?
So, in all honesty, I'm not 100% sure about that update that you're talking about. However, I'm assuming the basic fundamentals are still in place. I don't see a lot of that changing. That Striker, the main thing is getting that extra attack that uses that basic ability, depending, could it be a dispel, could it be something like that. So if they're removing that aspect of it, then yes, that is going to be a huge difference.
I should clarify, they're saying that they're leaving it. It's on the screen. No one's getting rid of it. Xero is in the chat. Welcome, brother. Doesn't look like an 18-year-old schoolgirl. I'm sorry, Xero. So, Dapper, the Kraken of the MSF crew, have you been hoarding? Are you trying to get to level 80 and try to smash through that Dark Dimension 4 to get Doom as quickly as possible? You taking a bit more of a relaxing mode, or do you want to sort of see where you should invest your resources before you go ham on it?
Yeah, so I always approach Dark Dimension this route. I always wait to see where everybody is going, and then I'll look into my roster and see what's more beneficial for me. That's what I did with Dark Dimension 3, and I took a very long time, but I brought Colossus, Phoenix, and Cyclops together, and a lot of people were confused of why do I bring Cyclops, but my Cyclops was 7 red stars and maxed out at that point. So I just go slowly, and then once I start seeing the recommendations and stuff like that on Dark Dimension 4, then I would, start speeding up, and then I will just look into what's going to be best for my roster.
Yeah, no, it's fair. It's fair call. I salute everyone who's helped me out on testing it out. So we're moving into sort of the character updates. We talked about it last week where they're removing stuff. They had the uncanny thing, and thank you, Remedax. Actually, we were just talking about your video that highlighted this. Sort of played me around. Lex, with Ant-Man and Yellow Jacket, as a newer, probably the smaller of the lot, are you happy that 2 characters that you probably already got, that you're actually able to get them up? You talked about before that you were aiming for Pimtech.
Well, yeah, like they're actually 2 characters that I haven't really focused too much on yet, but I like I said, because of what is starting to take place, I've decided to switch gears a little bit, and so I have started working on them. And I'm also thinking that since they're basically going to be one of the teams that's good for DD4, that I might, and since I'm getting ready to go into Dark Dimension 3, I might as well start farming them anyways. So, hopefully it works out. We'll see.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how effective this team is in all game modes, not just Dark Dimension. It looks pretty good on Dark Dimension. Interested to see how it is in War and whatnot. Crayvis, you have 2 accounts, so I'd like to hear your different opinion on both. As Lex, he's sort of going for that Pimtech team now. Are you looking to work on that Pimtech team in your main account, and then you're actually going to shape your smaller account, or are you just waiting to see where it falls and then?
I have been sold a bill of goods before with how well Wakanda was supposed to be in raids, so I'm gonna wait till somebody else gears it and tells me that it actually works until I actually decide to gear it. I'm still working on symbiotes, and I'm still working on marauders and things like that, so that's kind of where my focus is right now on actually both accounts. Baby Crayvis, aside from working on the Sinister Six a little bit, he's pretty much working on the same teams because they're just that valuable, and that's where my mutant gear is going to go, I think.
Yeah, I'm keen to see a lot of the top end players, the Krakens, the Whales, that keep the lights on for this game. I'm interested to see what they're testing. So, Remedex, I'll be watching your stream to see how good they are. I believe Remedex said on, his latest video. So check that out, guys. He talked about his sort of thought process of this team specifically. Rumors are that they potentially could be used for a legendary. That's not confirmed, so I wouldn't go hard on this team if that's why you're working on it. But I am interested to see how this team works. And then Remedex does do a breakdown on the T4s that he thinks is the best. So that wraps up the first one. But now we've got the Quantum Shadow came out today. We talk a little bit about Ghost. Sen, what do you think about Ghost and how this team is actually shaping up as far as like abilities and stuff like that?
I think she's basically the linchpin on this team. If you're gonna go hard for any character on this team, it's gonna have to be her.
Yeah.
You want the red stars on her. She's going to be doing everything. She's got a little bit of Minerva in there. She's got a little bit of yo-yo, a little bit of everything to help you out with stuff. It looks like it's going to be fairly interesting. I'm going to try my best to get like a 5 or a 6 on her if I can, but yeah, that's fickle luck.
Are you going to be spending that T4? I believe it. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I believe it's her ultimate where the T4 actually gives that extra 5%, so she's doing that 15% steal, like Minerva, like Moore, but he does 4%. Are you throwing some T4s on her?
Yeah, so we actually just kind of randomly went over the entire team this morning on stream.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like her passive and her ultimate were the ones that we were looking at specifically, because you do want that steal. The other two are decent, but their other two are just damage boosts. So if she does decent, that's a decent upgrade. But like their damage numbers don't look that huge. Like 240, 300%, stuff like that. You're not getting anything that's like 600 or 700% damage. So they might be worth the upgrade for the damage just to bring them up higher. But I think it's going to be more on the utility side.
Yeah, she's. So another question is: are you going to wail on this team? And if not, are you going to be wailing on Ghost?
I probably will wail on Ghost. I might do the other ones at like 1 pack instead of both packs, just to get them up there. I am worried that they are going to be. One of the rumors I heard was that King is going to be the legendary. We'll see if that happens. And if they're the team to unlock a legendary, I want to be able to get them into at least 5.
Yeah, Kang is, for you guys at home, Kang the Conqueror. He's the son of Reed Richards or one of the sons of Reed Richards and Susan Storm, I believe. He is set up for the next MCU, the next villain to take over from Thanos, which is rumored, I believe, and then eventually Doctor Doom will be. I've heard that they've sort of split it into like and then Galactus will follow after that.
Also,
Yeah, it's
hug your
major
kids,
spoiler,
fam.
by the way.
Hug your kids so that crap doesn't happen. All right, just do it.
just give him a hug. Just give him a hug. I realize the guys watching. Obviously, I'm not playing the video, otherwise you wouldn't be able to hear us. But definitely check out the post. It's got some really good stuff. I do my homework for the show. Apparently, no one else reads it. So Nietzsche PvP. Do we think any of these characters is going to be in the top meta for PvP?
Absolutely not. So far, I have tested the new Ant-Man, the new Wasp, the stature. The 3 of them, even together, completely suck. I think Yellow Jacket might be the best one out of all 5 of them. Ghosts. I don't think it is going to be beneficial either. I don't think they're going to be viable in PvP at all.
If anyone has any pull, we need our boy Nietzsche into the Envoy program. We need a PvP guy in there telling us how good these characters are in PvP. Sage, this team, Pimtech, are you excited about them? Are you thinking it's just Dark Dimension? That's really where they're going to be good in, and are you investing in them?
So this team, especially just because of the tags, Dark Dimension, obviously they're going to be good. They're going to be worth it. They're going to be obviously viable or important to the team, right? Now, when you're looking at in war and raids, in war right now, who knows? We'll see what happens really how Yellow Jacket and Ghost do as a team, because realistically, Ant-Man and Wasp really don't do too much in war as we see right now. But as a whole for the team, we'll really have to see where they go. It looks like, I believe, Supernatural might be that counter to them pretty hard, right? Is that right, guys?
Yeah.
So,
I've heard that,
yeah.
If people start putting, and let's be honest, this the Pimp Tech team, like Goofy just
Pimp Tech,
is legit.
Ant-Man
The
approved,
whole
right?
point of the Pimp team is that they do evades and they move. This is a defensive war team in a sense. You're not going to want to put them on offense. So I mean, that's just my opinion. But which means, and that's another thing, you're not going to put Supernatural on defense. So Supernatural is going to rip right through them in war if you really look about it. So that's where I see. Now in raids, could be, I don't know, maybe somewhere for Stature and Yellow Jacket, but I don't know. I don't really see how they're going to be viable for those areas. So we'll see.
So Dapper, this might be a really stupid question, but are you going ham on these guys, or you're pretty much getting 5-star and then bouncing out?
I'm not really sold on them, to be honest with you. Just unlocking just to have them, but
Yep.
I'm not really sold on them. If they would say they're gonna really release a legendary with them, I'm not too worried because they always come up with other offers later on to get them as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then also when the legendary does come out, they do offers as well. So if I had to go cracking on those offers, and then I'll worry about it then. But right now, I'm not really sold. They just remind me of Wakanda. The Ghost is too much of a promise of mixture of Minova and Yo-Yo that I feel that's going to fall. There's going to be some type of bug that is going to completely backfire that. Look at the bug with Phoenix that they just fixed. That screwed a lot of people in wars and blitz and raids and stuff like that. So let's see what he comes out there.
So I've got on the front. Oh no. Give me a sec. How do I?
Oh,
fix
no, you
this?
didn't.
No, I did. Sorry. So I've got MSF. I'm gonna have to change it. That's fine. I'll do it at the end then. That was I was going to show you how the rate is. So on MSF.gg, they've got the nodes and sort of how they are at the moment. One of the big things that we've noticed is that there's a lot of Falcons in these nodes. And if you're having a lot of evades and buffs, it speeds that team up. So how much that team's going to be hidden? Maybe Ghost will counter it. We're not sure. Goofy, from that cheap to play sort of perspective, obviously Statch is a relatively cheap player to get, right? She's coming out on event. Usually if you chuck a couple of calls into them, you usually get about 5-star. Ghost is, I believe, Blitz. And Yellow Jacket, maybe they can confirm in chat. I'm not sure how he's coming out yet. Are you going to go hard on the team?
Nah. I'm not. I'm just honestly, personally, I'm not really convinced about the team and what they're gonna do, what they can do. I know that they're gonna be important in terms. Well, they say that they're gonna be important, but for some reason, I just feel like they're pushing them too hard, and it's the Wakanda thing. It's the looking at the kids. It's also now seeing the maps and then seeing what they're gonna have to face in global. I'm like, bro, how? So I feel like there's some nodes that I'm looking at right now, and I'm like, how are they even going to finish the node? So I just personally don't even. I'm not going hard. I know that they might be important for legendary, but I'm the type of player where I get the legendary on second or third pass anyway. So yeah, whatever. I'm not going to spend my money on it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And depends on how good the legendary. Well, the game's inherently is legendaries are so good, but depends on how good that legendary is in other game modes. Right. We're talking about it in the stream actually, the priority of ones. And to be honest, Black Bolt and Maul are probably still the best legendaries. Phoenix as well, but I think Black Bolt and Ebony Maul are helping you in more areas. Phoenix is not very good in raids and stuff like that. So I'll be interested to see who the new character is. It's been rumored like Blade as well, for the Supernatural team. So we'll have to see how that pans out. Moving on to Dark Dimension 1, Dark Dimension 4 rewards. They're on the screen. I'm hoping, because I'm about to kick over to you, Crayvis. I hope you did your research. What do you think with the extra money and pretty much the same rewards as Dark Dimension 3? For each mission, each mission.
When I read it the first time, I thought it gave you all that crap for all of them. And I was like, sweet! But then somebody informed me that it was one of those for all of them. And I was like, but we could have had so much more. So I'm just kind of like, meh. Like it's on par, but it's absolute steaming pile of dog feces.
doesn't really help with the gold crunch. Hopefully they do it.
It's got to go up because the levels all have to go up, right? Like
Yeah.
they didn't increase gold anywhere, as far as I could tell. So
Not yet.
Yeah, not
it's
yet.
yeah.
Sen.
That's
Oh, sorry.
They also said that Doom was in the game, but also GD4 is not live yet. It's like, so is he?
You can look at him. You can look at him.
If he's
spinning,
not
right?
unbeatable, is he in the game or is he not? That's the whole tree falls in the
Last
forest. Nobody
note.
hears an argument,
Last
right?
note of Doom 2.
So they did the same thing for Ultron when Dark Dimension 2 came out. It was delayed from when the patch came out. But since they released the character with the patch, he's available in this patch. He's one of the 4 playable characters from this current patch. Even though nobody's gonna get him, it doesn't matter. That's when they released him. This is the patch that he counts for.
Sen, what's
Tell you
your
what my definition of available is? Either you can get him or swipe your Visa card and buy him.
Their definition of available has always been questionable since they consider Minerva and Yo-Yo gettable.
No, they consider them farmable, which
Yeah.
is entirely BS. But
Sen, so what do you reckon of Dapper, you go, brother.
I was gonna say, for me, I just feel that Dark Dimension 4 rewards got nerfed a whole lot. They didn't mention no gold or silver promotion credits. They didn't mention no gear after you beating those modes.
They do mention. I thought they did mention gear at the end.
You'll receive a 2 Red Star Doctor Doom and various gear pieces.
Various gear pieces.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So highlight.
Okay.
So it's basically running the same way the Dark Dimension 3 ran. Every node is going to get you either, which is actually better this one because it's 4 gold orbs for Dark Dimension 3. So it's going to get you 5 gold orbs or a mega orb or 200 orange ability or an elite 5 orb. And then you do it a second time and you get the same thing again, which is not bad. But really, who gives a shit? We're all in there for Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
And I think that's the big
Let's be
thing.
real.
It's like when you finish Dark Dimension 2, and Lex is roughly close to me too. So we've just unlocked Ultron, and it's a good feeling. I think the main prize in that is that 5-star Doctor Doom 2 Red Star. That's the winning sort of thing. I'll be interested to see how the gear pieces are. So I'm interested to see when Dark Dimension 4 comes out. Some people have said next year. I believed it was meant to be before the end of the year. Has anyone heard any different to that?
I think it was like December. but
I
I'm
heard,
not-
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I just heard next year. I think honestly, I was watching one of Mobile Gamer's videos and he was saying something about February. Somewhere around there, January and February.
For DD4 to be released?
I think so.
Ask if Rem knows.
Yeah,
don't
Ram,
know.
do you know?
I don't know. Maybe
I
that
would
knows
say
about it.
December.
Because there's a difference to
Basically
someone
ready.
actually able to get in there to actually when they release it.
Correct. And so I think it's December. I think that it could be very, very late December, but their pathway or that the notes that they had released a while back said that Dark Dimension 4 was going to be released in 2020. And I think they'll probably try and do that. I think it's basically ready to go. All they have to do is activate it. And so likely they will activate it sometime, probably late December.
I mean,
Somebody in the chat saying January at the latest.
I mean,
The longer the wait, the more they piss off the whales. So,
well, it's also it sends right there, and also on top of that, it's exactly what somebody said in the chat was the sooner they release it, the more money they make. And with Tadano already reaching level 80, I mean, he's pretty even though it's just the level cap, he's basically saying, hey, I'm ready to go to the next step and do my roster to my gears. So he's just ready to go in as soon as it's released. So I wouldn't doubt what Sen was saying is as soon as it happens, they're gonna jump in it.
I'm looking forward to actually. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, the difference on this one versus the Dark Dimension 3 is nobody gave a crap that he finished the Dark Dimension 3 first. Because nobody wanted to follow.
Yeah.
Because it was like, okay, he's done. Great. There's no other reward here. This is more, more like Dark Dimension 2. They're gonna rush to get the top character. They're gonna rush to get Doom. Nobody wanted to rush after the down and clear DD3 because there was no reward for it. I mean, okay, you got some Red Star orbs or upgrades, whatever. You get those anyway. But this is a big change to your roster. This is the top line character, and frankly, I'm expecting somebody in my arena to get it before I do. So I'm getting myself a Mr. Sinister 6 Red Star.
Oh, we lost someone. Who jumped out?
Dapper.
Yeah, we lose to Dapper.
Oh no!
We always lose Dapper for a minute.
He needs a computer.
I hope his cats didn't assault him with a face again. That was terrifying.
Mendogs has never looked better. It's currently Nietzsche. I'm Lex. Sorry,
I know,
Lex.
right?
Yeah.
I became Goofy.
Sen is now Sage. And Sen. It's crazy.
I'm still Crayvis.
So Dark Dimension, people can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to be a yearly thing, right? That they bring out a Dark Dimension. Is that correct? Is that pretty much what has been happening? Everyone's nodding. Cool.
I personally don't know, but I would say that's a fair assessment.
So do we think moving forward, Dark Dimension 5, because people are really excited about this, right? There's a character, and I agree with Sen's comment sort of thing. It's like Dark Dimension 1 for a newer player, right? Because I understand you guys are, you've already finished Dark Dimension 3, you want Dark Dimension 4, but Dark Dimension 2 is an amazing reward at the end. You get Ultron, who is still relevant. I'm still using him in a lot of game modes, so it's not, Sen, and then we'll go around the table, or you can just put your hands up, whatever. But like Dark Dimension 5, and I know that's like a year away, but do you think that this is going to be the new thing where to get people excited that Dark Dimension 5 is going to have another character, moving forward, or do you think it's going to be we're going to revert back to Dark Dimension 3 where it's a big gear boost and then a one-on-one-off sort of thing?
I have no clue on that. I think I think it would be better if every one of them had a character. It makes it more interesting to go after. I think what Tony was talking about was correct. They were planning to do Doom, and then everything got delayed and everything got shifted. So they stuck Dark Dimension 3 and delayed everything for Dark Dimension 4. At least that's what Tony was talking about. Doom was ready to go, and then they pushed it back. I don't think it's a bad idea to do every other one as a character release, because it gives you more time for that big character. Because who are you gonna bring out? You're getting Doom. Who's gonna be next? Apocalypse, Null, Nosdarmu. There's characters that are big names that they can't just bring out as a character release. They don't work as just a character release. They need a special event. They need to be overpowered, and they need to be the game changer again. And
Silver Surfer.
I think doing like a 5, kind of like 3, to get them to do the gear and then upgrades for people, while not as exciting, is a good way to do it, because it does bring up the player base to kind of let you catch up, and it gives them more time to get stuff done. I wish they would do it a little faster, but that's also neither here or there. But yeah, it'd be nice if there was a character at the end of DD3. But we got a lot of stuff out of it. It's not thrilling. It's not oh my god fantastic. But it was useful. I got good stuff out of it. I'm happy with it.
That's actually a really good point. It does do that catch-up mechanic for the next sort of one, right? So once I finish Dark Dimension 3, by the time that I finish it, probably the second time, I'll know what to bring into Dark Dimension 4, and if Dark Dimension 5's gear, I'm ready for, so it is less exciting, but it's not too bad. Does anyone have any conflicting things? Do you think that each Dark Dimension should be a character?
No, I 100% agree with what Sen Raven said, because
Mhm.
otherwise the power creep is just going to be way too fast, especially for smaller account players like me that are trying to catch up with you
Mhm.
guys. It's just going to make it that much harder. So I agree with everything Sen Raven said.
No, I think it's
Having two influxes of gear as opposed to just one influx of gear doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun. We talked about
pers-
Nietzsche.
Oh no, I personally think they should do a character release for each Dark Dimension. I think they kind of felt rushed. They didn't realize the magnitude of how big of a thing Dark Dimension would be, and therefore they didn't really plan. Everyone's expecting Doom as the Dark Dimension 3 character, but I think they kind of they hadn't planned the character out well enough to be able to make that release in Dark Dimension 3. So, and sitting here saying that a newer player is going to have a disadvantage having a gap or not having the gap in between, I would kind of disagree with that, because that newer player doesn't get the Dark Dimension 3 resources are
The money gun.
and things like that, but Dark Dimension 3 was, it was lackluster for the majority of us, and it's going to be lackluster for that new player. And to have that new player get a new character that is a good elite type character, I think is going to be beneficial to their roster, beneficial to them in general, and I don't see that as being a bad thing to have a new character release every Dark Dimension.
I'm interested to see, chat's having to go at me because I'm talking about Dark Dimension 5, haven't even seen Dark Dimension 4. I'm just thinking for future, guys. I'm just thinking, like, what they can. I want this game to go on for a long time, and so I'm just wondering, we're about to actually move into a data mind segment, but I'm super excited about this game. I'm having so much fun with it, and so yeah, I'm just wondering, what they could potentially do, right? And I think characters definitely make it a lot more exciting, but I also agree with Sen, is that it is a way for people to catch up to the next Dark Dimension, if that makes sense.
So it took me a while. I don't remember how long it took for the first run through. It took a while. It took a couple of months to get through the first run. It was faster for the second run. Anybody coming up in 6 months, anybody hitting that spot is gonna do it in like 3 days, or maybe let's say 3 weeks.
Yeah,
whatever. Because the new characters are gonna be out, they're gonna make it easier. They benefit from all of us already having gone through it, being able to give them the information. Here's the characters you want to work on. Here's what you want to avoid. Do this, do that, do this. Just like Dapper has the guide for Dark Dimension 2. Somebody's gonna have this out for Dark Dimension 3. This is what you do. This is how you get through it.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's gonna be as big of a delay, and that gear bump is gonna be pretty big. I do think there should be a character there. Maybe not somebody on the Doom level, but hey, Silver Surfer would be freaking great for Dark Dimension 5 if you want to do that as as an off one, and then
I think people would be happy with that.
6.
I was gonna say that it would be, as a newer player, if they did maybe a lesser tier character, that would be appealing.
Yeah, it would be great to see a character at the end of it, because it's not exciting to get to the end of it and all you're getting is gear, but there's a lot of stuff you can do with that gear, and I was happy to be able to bring up so many of my characters to top of the line and be like, okay, I'm gonna go balls to the wall with my Black Order team just to see what the fuck I can do with it. And how high they can get. Yeah, they're gonna last me like another month or two, and then they're gonna hit the floor because somebody's gonna knock the shit out of them. But for now, I'm having a lot of fun with them. I was trying to do a YouTube video of taking them into the Cosmic Note, like maxing out the team and taking them to the cosmic nodes of DD3, but now I can't max out the team because the level cap went up and the gear went up. So they just screwed up my idea for a video. I'm like, what crap? All right, I guess I'm not doing YouTube.
Yeah, sometimes something will come out and you've just done a video and you're like, oh, well, that's now wrong. Thanks. And
I might still do it with, and just put a disclaimer being like, hey, by the way, this was the idea. Here you go. This is what they can do.
So yeah, no, I'm pretty excited about the character. I'm not super worried about him just destroying everything. I think he's gonna be very good, and I'm interested to see how he is in war and stuff like that. And then hopefully we can play some PvP when Nietzsche gets him, and I can see how he is to play. I'll bring in Sinister and I'll be able to try him out. But he looks pretty good. To sum up a bit of this, Emma Frost. How did everyone go with Emma? Have we got at least 5 stars, 6 stars? How did we go with the Emma event?
Almost 5.
7.
I'm close.
Ooh,
Almost
7.
5.
Do people like these sort of events? So
They're
since
okay.
I played,
I don't hate them. I mean, they're all right. I wish
They're
he
the
was on
worst
maybe
thing
a few more.
that has
miles,
ever happened.
but-
He's a man.
Like I say, yeah, they're not the.
Take
They're,
gear pulls, man. I
Say-
missed my
Whatever.
blitz orbs.
they're
I
all
used
right.
to be able
I
to
think
gear
when one
characters.
should one in, another one should begin.
These events are great. Let's just say that. And that's just my personal opinion. I think it's great for everybody. Here's the deal. You know what's important is now that, and I know a lot of people are going to, say whatever, but I believe strongly that Seed Theory is over, and I haven't done it in over a month. So with that being said, it helped a lot of people save gold orbs. So that's why I think people are actually getting Emma up to a higher area, getting characters up a lot easier now, because I've seen people kind of stay away from that. So I think that's really important. And I've gotten my Emma. I had my Emma up now at 5, but it's one of those things where now that I've thought that it's over, the gold is now regular. It's not. I'm not feeling a crunch. I just see Seed Theory is just a mechanic for you to think that even if it works. So I just feel like even if you feel like it works for you, it may work. I just feel like, to me, it's just not doing it is working now, and having the gold is so much more important. I've seen a lot of people in streams, a lot of people playing, sending me screenshots of their accounts with like 5 to 10 million more when they haven't done it in a month, and they're actually moving at a better pace.
Yeah, I like, and I've been playing around June sort of thing, but we had the Symbiote milestone, we had the Emma Frost, both very, very good characters in all game modes, very strong. It's a nice way, I think, for free-to-play players to get a character.
A good character.
Oh, yeah, very good character.
She's really, really good, man. I love Emma. She's like one of my favorites right now.
She's a very good character. And so is Symbiote Spider-Man, right? And it's a really good way. I don't know if Supervillain Ben's in, he can confirm, but it's hard to hoard, I guess, because you're constantly trying to get as many shards as you can. But yeah, very cool way. We do have 2 legendaries coming up, Nick Fury and Magneto. Lex will talk about it in his segment. But yeah, definitely make sure you get them. Nick Fury, if depending on where you are in the game, you can probably pass up on him. But Magneto, very good team of war, very fun as well. We have Jessica Jones, nothing too crazy. Captain Marvel, she's probably losing a bit of favor, but she's coming to Blitz, so definitely look into that. Speaking of Blitz, we saw in the data mine there's and we'd seen it. I think it was last month. The sim sort of button. Sen, do you reckon that with this function coming in, do you think they're going to bring out a new game mode to replace some of the time spent in the game? So they're trying to minimize blitz. Do you think there's going to be a new game mode on the horizon, probably start of the year, that will sort of draw a bit more time into the game?
As much as I want them to have a new game mode, I think they're gonna push more for PvP. I think they're gonna basically go, well, we're done with Blitz. We put this thing in. I hope they don't move character releases from there to PvP. Like I'm okay with it. I know you wanted Nietzsche. I know you wanted it. I'm okay with PvP. Sometimes I enjoy it, sometimes I don't. I don't care about it either way. Like probably 70% of this player base is gonna freaking riot if they put it as character releases for PvP.
Yeah.
As much as I would love there to be new game modes, like give us a server boss. What the hell is going on? Give me a damn world boss that everybody picks away at.
Yeah.
That's not a new concept. Give us a tower. Give us there's things that they can put in, but I think they're kind of wrapping up their involvement on Blitz just because it's not a good mode. Nobody wants to sit there and spend 45 minutes doing a rotation, come back an hour and a half later and do it again. That's why this thing is coming in. It's gonna take 5 minutes to do a rotation. I do think it's gonna get more people to do Blitz, which is good. I think it actually will get them more engagement from the player base because people will jump in every 2 hours and click the button for 5 minutes and jump out, which is how a mobile game should be done.
Yeah, right.
Except for Thursday nights where we party with Sage and we do Blitz.
Sure. Well, we have stuff to do while we're blitzing. We'll stream and I can get 2 rotations in and everything else in between and talk to people in the chat. It gives me something to do while I'm talking with people in chat. But it's not a good game mode. There's nothing interesting about it. And it still boils down to, can your team beat the defenders? Because you're more than likely gonna run into a defenders team. So build out your roster to beat defenders, and you're gonna win all the way to 8-3. So who cares about Blitz? But I think it will.
Wait, what?
I know, at least in my alliance, I know at least 5 people that will Blitz more because all they have to do is come in and click the button, and they're at the computer all day anyway. They just don't want to Blitz on a regular basis.
Sage, so with and I think that's something that we're all worried about. I know you don't have necessarily a small account, but obviously you'd have some insight on it. With this automatic feature, are you worried that the small players are really going to have a hard time trying to get those big scores? Because now the bigger players are just going to go, well, yeah, I can click a button, boom, I'm playing Blitz now.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not about the level there. I think it's just whoever's just gonna have the time. I mean, the reality is as much as it's 1,000 times easier to click a button and it's just autos. It's just how much are you gonna be able to do it? I mean, like, that's all it is. Like, how much are you gonna be able to do it? And I think that's where it comes down to. I mean, obviously, you're gonna have to still build teams. You're gonna have to do all the things that you need to do. There's different parts of the game where there's still parts of the game that are still to make it work. Okay. And at the same time, what ends up happening is, they may have a slight advantage or whatever, but you have to make sure that these people are still even doing it. You know what I mean? You could say you do it once a day. Okay, I'm done. Like, some people are just like, all right, I just did it for the mouse, and they don't care. Like, still people actually have to do it. But I mean, even if when people come into my stream and they do blitzing and they're listening to the music or whatever it is for, Blitz and DJ, the reality is that some of the people don't even do it at this point. You know how much easier it would be to do that and just sit and watch or do whatever. Now, at the same time, I do have a trick up my sleeve if, the blitz actually just kind of falls apart. So I'm not necessarily worried on that section anymore. I'm moving ahead, which I have to be anyway. But
I'm just going to throw it out there. No one is joining you on Thursday nights to watch you blitz. You are very entertaining. We're going there for you, but I do see you.
We help.
You know what I mean? Like, who is going? Oh, how do I blitz? I'll go to Sage's on Thursday.
You need to help them out. Are they going to be doing this forever?
Yeah, I mean, I want to see I mean, I play the Blitz mainly so you guys can see the actual graphics. Thank goodness I have a better computer now. But at the same time,
it's looking amazing, by the way.
We get to 3 million. We get to 3 million every night on the first night. So if you're sim blitzing, imagine if we sim blitzed and, you're sim blitzing, the first round. Because I always do it 1 hour after, right? 1 hour after the reset. Yeah. So that gives you, if it's still a 2-hour reset for those characters, okay, you have a 1 hour cooldown by that time for you to start playing. You can, in a sense, use your blitz credits. You can, in a sense, also get through 2 rounds right there. Okay, so then you can come back and you can do whatever. Now, at the same time, you can also do a full round with me on the blitz. And then once you go and do that, then you can basically come down and you can do your sim blitz right after that. And then you can sim blitz for the rest. Or you can just play whatever and do, see how it goes. But I don't know where I was going with that last part there, but I think you guys understand the point that there's some pieces there where there's some things that we can do.
Oh, yeah. And look, I think it's, if they use it as because it's the oldest game mode. I remember Blitz when I first started playing, because I started playing back in the day when it first came out, and then I moved back. And it's a good way to move on. I do enjoy Blitz just to play around with some new characters and stuff like that, because it is an easy one. Especially, I can't take, say if I get Stature, I can't take her into the raids without putting a lot of resources on her. It's not an auto thing. You can still lose. And then they're also coming out with the raid thing too, which we'll see how that goes out. The bonus events are also coming out for your Cree and your Relic Hunter, so get up your hands, and hopefully we see a hand rework, right? That's what I'm talking about. So guys, we're going to move into our usual segment where the roundtable goes through and help give you weekly tips and tricks for certain aspects. So Sage, we're going to kick off with you. You're replacing Xero on War and Raids. What's your weekly tip or trick for tricks for War or Raids, or both?
All right. So what I've been doing, obviously everyone knows I love the Baron Zemo team. I love the Baron Zemo team in War. I think my best trick I learned from a couple people. One was from my alliance leader Doom. From other people was using Vulture in that team. Now I know a lot of people want to have a healer on their team or whatever. I'm not saying that healers are overrated, but I just don't think you necessarily need to have that with the strength and the power that these characters have in them already. So you have a character like Zemo who's quick, he's fast, he's strong. Then you have a same thing like Crossbones, where he has a nice boom factor, and then you have Winter Soldier who has a nice pow factor on his ultimate. So boom, clack, pow, whatever you want to say. Anyway, the best part about it is you see with Vulture, he helps speed down the rest of the team. So not only are your specials and your ultimates kind of coming in order, but especially when you're playing a Hydra team that may be a little bit overpowered or whatever, or you're punching up, you can still maintain your order and still maintain your speed without having to be slowed down by using characters like Kingpin anymore, which I don't use. Characters like Mantis, who I don't really use, but that's reliable on healing. So speeding down that team is obviously really important. I've been using that. I think that's one of my key tips. And then also in Raid, I've seen a couple things, and I want to say that, let me just make sure I'm correct here. I'm in difficulty 5 now in U7, and I want to say that I7 Chain Gang lane, the I7 Chain Gang lane, with the it starts out with the Drax and Gamora and what is it, Mystiques and things like that. Use symbiote. 100% use symbiotes. That is definitely used for that section. So that second section where some of you guys have been noting is so that first group you can use pretty much any team to get through. That second team, that second unit, you can use any team as well. But that fourth or the I5 node, definitely if you guys want to use your Black Bolt, or whichever you would want to decide to use there, you can. But the thing is that I feel like symbiotes can definitely take down that Black Bolt node down, and that boss node. And so 5, 6, 7, 8, or 5, 6, 7, I5, boss node J5, and I6. I believe I5, I6 are 100% auto symbiote nodes. Auto symbiote nodes. The other ones you might have to work out with a little bit because there's not too much control there. But these ones are basically because that team is so heavy debuff, you can go auto there. So those are my 2 tips.
Awesome. So guys, I do have on the screen the nodes of on msf.gg. You just see one node where you can pretty much take anyone, and then it goes global, 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 3 cosmic, 3 city, and 3 legendaries. So the other ones you can't use legendaries except for the last 3 nodes. So definitely check out Star Wars shot msf.gg maps to check that out. And then obviously when the game comes out, they'll populate. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. All right, guys. So we're gonna kick off to Lex. Tips for new players.
So yeah, for new players, it's not real hard. Just basically, do your best to hit all your milestones. Farm your Guardians, farm your Sinister Six. Farm your beginning teams. Try to unlock as many of the legendaries as you can, and just keep pushing on and pressing on and stay consistent. Try to hit that level 75. Do the best you can in war. Participate in your alliance. Always work with your alliance. If there's something you can't do, ask them what it is that you want, or ask your alliance what they want you to do, especially for war. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Cheap to play tips. Goofy, what's going on? What's your weekly tip?
Well, I guess this is probably more so for next week. I know Stature is going to be, an event campaign. So, obviously if you're not buying the $25 offer for her, then, you have to utilize, other ways or find other ways in order for you to be able to get those shards. So my recommendation is just to, number one, do the best that you can. Just so people know, if you don't have to do the easy version of it. You can do the medium version or the hard version, and that will still unlock the previous 2 versions for you. I know most people know, but just in case you don't know, but then also as well too, you're probably going to want to at least utilize some core refreshes on those event campaigns so that you can get those fragments to open up orbs. So that'll just be my recommendation. If you're not going to buy the character, then make sure that you're using some refreshes here for you to be able to go through and to be able to get those shards for Stature. And yeah, the Pimtech team is an available team for the most part. The only difficult character that's really gonna be hard for you to get is going to be probably Ghost, because she's 100 shard on lock. So that might be hard for you to get, most likely offer wise. It's not going to be a cheap to play offer. It's going to be a $50 offer in order for you to be able to get her. So
$8 down under.
Yeah. So that might be the biggest one, the most difficult one for you. But in regards to like the other characters, do your blitzes, do your core refreshes to try to get those characters, so that you can go ahead and unlock that team, because they'll be a pretty good, decent, early enough for team for you if you want.
Crayvis, on to alliance management. You got any tips for those guys?
All right, so what we're going to kind of do this week is we're going to kind of go over a little bit of character recommendations, and a good way to kind of handle that. If you find that your alliance are asking you a lot of the times, like, "Hey, what kind of character should I work on? I'm not sure exactly where we need to go with this stuff." What I've done for both of my guilds is I've set up a channel in Discord called Roster Storage, and I tell everybody to, first off, make sure that they go to their advanced options and click that allow portrait screen orientation, so I don't have to look through 7,000 freaking pictures of rosters.
Yeah.
But if everybody in your alliance has an actual roster shot up, when somebody says, "All right, what do I work on?" you can say, "Well, it looks like your bio gear is probably going to symbiotes right now, and your tech's probably going to Minerva. Like, maybe you could take your Taskmaster sitting down there at 3 stars with nothing on him and throw him some skill gear, because you ain't got nothing else better in that column, and that's gonna do some stuff." If you can actually see everybody's individual rosters, you can kind of tailor your suggestions to their situations and tell them what characters, like if they're close to a Magneto, be like, "Well, you're going to want to hit Psylocke and you're going to want to hit Mystique and you're going to want to hit him hard because Magneto's coming in a couple weeks," or what have you. It also helps if you have those roster shots to divide your raid lanes up for Greek raids, especially Gamma. You can see who has a shield team and all that other BS. So that's kind of what I got for you guys this week.
Awesome. Thanks very much, man. So we're going to kick off with Nietzsche PvP advice. We've got some people doing that tournament tomorrow.
I'm always going to say, look at the bottom of your opponent's roster, see what they have, see what they don't have. You want to bring up as many viable PvP characters as you can up to gear tier 9. Doesn't matter what power they are after that. Just bring them up. And specifically for balanced, obviously classic is going to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
But
level 48 is bare minimum for that, by the way.
Yep. So level 48, gear tier 9. Bring them up to that, and you're set for balance. And then learn how to play that character. But that's about it for PvP advice.
Good, thank you very much. Dapper, last week we got Supervillain Ben to do Kraken Corner. Completely free-to-play player telling us what the Krakens and whales should do. Dapper, you got any advice for the whales and Krakens besides just buy everything?
Yeah, so these orbs are actually, these offers are pretty good for some of them. They got the 3 gold orbs with 200k plus the Fantastic Four, I guess, orb. That orb is trash, but this is also the equivalent to, but a little bit better than whenever you buy a character release. They give you the same amount of gold orbs and the amount of gold for the same price. So you do get something a little extra. Yeah, it's a trash orb, but it's something extra. You know, you get to Ultimus food. Then they got the $24.99 Elite orb with 10 Red Star orbs and what's the name of that orb? The Big Shoe orb fragments. That's another good. That's another good offer. If you're into buying Red Star orbs, that's probably the cheapest you will get elites. Plus, you get a whole bunch of other stuff. Other than that, you know, there's a lot of like energy ones that, although it doesn't really catch a lot of people's attentions, these are great Kraken snacks like Ramen XS because these will help you reach your cap as fast as possible, even though a Kraken would never really buy these energies during the level cap because it's kind of nonsense. They normally start running out once they get done at a certain, point. So just with these offers, I always recommend get the character release. And since Spectre is going to be an event, instead of buying $10 for the orbs when her event comes out, stuff like that, buy cores.
Yep.
Buy cores now. By the time that you get to the event, you can spend up to 200, 400, well, you know, if depending on how much you really want to spend, cores on it, refresh, and you're guaranteed to get 5 to 6 stars on it. This is the easiest, most affordable way to do these offers and not really break your wallet or your bank.
It's good. You know, the offers that I'm really enjoying is the congratulations, you hit like 100,000 TCP and you know those. I think we're up to 500,000.
Game, but thanks.
I'll take it. There's some good stuff in there. Sen, do you have any topic, anything on the game? Do you have any advice? I guess.
There's been a few teams rolling around for war that are kind of weird if you just look at your teams, but they work really well. Like throwing Coulson in with your Wave 1 Avengers and putting them on defense actually works really well. Putting Namor in instead of Kingpin with Zemo works really well. And then you can free that up if you're using your Fantastic Four on defense with She-Hulk. You have a spot for her. If you're using them on offense, you can run them with Ultron. You know, clear out that Marauders team. And it's really weird because you wouldn't think about it at first, but just take a look. You know, what I would say is just take a look at your teams and see who's gonna fit somewhere else without hurting your setup. And you might find some really interesting, combos.
Yeah, very nice. I'm working on my teams now. I've gone through that process. As I said before, I'm 3 million, so I've gone through my process of my arena team, my raid team, and now I'm working towards those war teams. I think the team that I'm finishing up is X-Men, then moving on to Marauders, especially taking Symbiote, Mr. Sinister, and Emma into DD3. But yeah, no, really good stuff. All right, guys, that concludes the news. Now, I think this is your favorite segment of the entire thing. Rumor has it. Quickly, everybody, get changed.
My bad. There we got it.
Ooh, tinfoil hat time, guys. Tinfoil hat time. We don't want anyone hearing our nasty, nasty thoughts. Who wants to kick us off for Sen? Can't get past the hat. Who wants to kick us off?
God, Goofy got Lex's hat. I don't know how it happened. Did you throw your hammer at him? And it just returned it?
I mean, I'm doing my best impersonation of a New York cabbie over here. So
I like it. Sen, do you have any good rumors? Juicy rumors? And look, no one cares if they're real or not. Let's have some fun.
No, really, the only thing that I heard, like some people were saying that Blade was a rumor for, like Tana was saying that Blade is the legendary. Tony was saying that he's completely not the legendary. The only rumor I heard was that that King might be the option for legendary, whether it's this one or later, that he might be a legendary coming in. That's really the only thing I heard about.
Yeah, I heard the next legendary is either the end of the year or start of January. Does anyone else have any juicy rumors?
I heard that there's an orb event maybe in December for opening, so you should start saving them. But I hate it because I have OCD and I like to make that little number go away.
Is there stuff in those orbs that's good for you to open for? Is there upgrades in those orbs?
Absolutely, in every one of them.
Then fucking open the goddamn orbs.
That's a duck sound. That's a duck sound.
Just open them.
It's my responsibility to inform everybody that it might be happening. I'm not going to do it.
I think that's our first quack of the night.
Oh, no,
Second.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to watch this.
Second or
Quack! Everyone, get it, quack in the chat.
Is there no cursing on this show?
So I upload to YouTube, so I have to edit it out. That's fine.
I
It's fine, bro.
apologize.
It's fine.
No. Keep dropping them. He likes to add the sound effects. He really loves it. Keep doing it.
I heard the next legendary is going to be, free to play friendly.
There's a thing there where you said free to play friendly and then legendary in the same sentence. I don't know if you know what legendary means.
Nah, see, he got confused from my motto is free to pay.
Free to pay.
That's it.
You are free to
pay.
put out whatever card.
You are free to pay whatever the hell you want.
The next legendary's requirements
As much
is
as it
Visa
takes.
and MasterCard and American Express or whatever you're using anywhere else.
I'm sure they'll take this cover. I mean,
Don't know how much of a rumor this is. It's probably a standard thing, but I believe Dapper was telling me Black Friday, Cyber Monday's coming. They've got some really good deals. So if you do have like a weekly, monthly expenditure on the game, you're at that Dolphin sort of level, hold out for those. You might be able to get some good stuff. I know Goofy would be keen to see some good things, being cheap to play, so we will buy some good stuff. But does anyone else have any good juicy rumors? Otherwise, we'll kick it off with the main chat. Yeah, Dapper, hit me up.
So the next patch is supposed to be bug free.
Oh!
That's not a rumor. That's
not jokes.
I got a rumor for you. The rumor is Ghost's kit, because Domino's kit was rumored too, but then they had to change it because it wouldn't work right. They said that she does so much crap. I'm like, there's no way this is gonna work. No way.
That'd be annoying. That'd be lies. All right, guys, let's kick off with the main chat. Take off our tinfoil hats. They can hear now. It's fine. Fan favorite rumor has it. We've had some good ones in the past. It's just been a little quiet, unfortunately. Pretty happy with this patch, actually. Sleepy Weasel is our next guest. So welcome to the chat, brother, and thanks for the raid. Guys, so we're going to talk about level 80. We're going to talk about a couple of things that are coming into the game. Is everyone really happy with this? And I know there's probably a bit of a dilemma because they haven't seemed to help with the gold crunch. That's absolutely, and training materials as well. Do you think that they're going to bring in throughout this patch then something to help with that, the gold crunch, as well as, because it's 2.2 million, I think it is, to get to 75 to 80, and trainer mats. I haven't looked at the trainer mats, but I'm sure it's incredibly crazy.
No. I don't think so at all. I don't think they'll do anything about it. The last time they did anything was they improved the gold orbs, and they went from 120k minimum to 150k minimum for a gold orb.
Yeah.
So, okay, 30,000 extra. So one of the old games, if anybody ever played it back in the day, was which some of the developers that started MSF were actually on that game. It's Marvel Avengers Alliance. What they would do when the level cap went up, they would lower the previous tiers of the gold would actually come down. So it would be like 600,000 to go from one level to to max level. Once the level cap went up, that 600,000 became 400,000, which is something they should be doing here as well. But they're not going to do it. It's not going to happen.
They're already doing it, but the thing is, it's not what everybody wants to hear. And it's basically through offers. So you gotta take out your wallet and just start.
That's not the same thing. That's not helping the game. That's asking you to spend money.
Yeah. Well, the in-house credit.
Dapper's all, yeah.
Power of the Visa. Sage, you look like you have something to say.
I actually agree with Sen. I played Marvel's Avengers Alliance for probably 2-3 years. I played it all the way through, from the beginning all the way till it ended, until they broke it up. And
we were there on the last day, baby.
It's 100% right. Even though they're going to be changing, all this stuff about the gold orbs and how they I think Rem was talking about how the gold orbs are now going to be increased, so it's like a different cap now. So it's like
okay.
Or it's like 3 and 5 million or something like that. I forgot exactly what it is. But yeah, I wish it was like the way that they did it in MMA or MAA actually. But yeah, that's the only difference. The gold orbs were increased, but in the other game it was just different. But you know, yeah, I'm done.
Reminex is saying that the battle pass is supposed to solve this crunch.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
I hope so. I
Battle
don't
Pass.
I don't think it will, but
Yeah.
Will help alleviate this crunch that we're having.
Hey,
Spending more.
I see
So
you, bro.
spending more money will help the gold crunch.
That's good advice.
If you
That's
buy
good
it off
advice.
the gold,
If
it will
they
alleviate
do-
the gold crunch
Exactly.
that you
Thank
have.
you.
So that's
If
probably
they do
and
the battle
agree
pass
with
like
Rem right there. It
Right.
will address it. It will
It'll
not
address
solve it.
right, if they
Right.
do the battle pass like the other games do the battle pass, there's going to be the free tier, which will give you a little bit of stuff as you're playing. So that might get you some, a little bit of gold, a little bit of training mats, a little bit of whatever, and then your pay tier or however many pay tiers they do will just get you more stuff if you're willing to pay for it. And I think there's like 3 or 4 tiers in the one that's the zombie one, the Walking Dead game. I think has either 3 or 4 tiers. Disney Sources Arena has 3 tiers now, 2 paid, 1 for free. Marvel Duel has 2 tiers. You get the free one and the paid one. So it just depends on how they do it and what they put into it.
Marvel Jewel, that's a good one to reference because it's a Marvel game, not done by the same developers, but
No,
And the Looney Tunes
get-
game too.
the Looney Tunes as well. Yeah,
The Looney Tunes
you
game
get
has
some
a
good
battle
stuff
pass as
for the
well.
free to play. You get some good stuff for the free to play for the Marvel Jewels specifically, and other games. So I think the battle pass. I know we talked about it 2 episodes ago. We were probably a little negative on a lot of rumors, I guess. Hopefully they smashed it out of the park. I think that's not too bad. I'm not too level 80. It has to come up, right, and it'll make the easier content. So Dark Dimension 3 will become easier inherently with more ISO levels, and they've already talked about more ISO levels. They've talked about more classes coming, which is exciting, and they're talking about it just inherently makes it easier, I think. How do we find, and I'll throw it to you, Sage, how do we find the increase in gear? So obviously they've increased it with the Doom 2 campaign to be able to get those mini uniques and stuff like that. You find that the gear crunch is actually easing to get at least to Dark Dimension 3 a lot quicker?
Right now it is, but you have to remember it's how it's being tailored out, So all these new gear pieces they're all of a sudden they're all over the place. So buy it now, because in like a month, once it gets released, it's gonna get, in a way, tapered down, and there'll be some type of bottleneck or whatever. So I would be very advantageous on trying to buy those 50Ks or those mini uniques as you can see them, the ones that you don't really necessarily know they're happening right now for the next level. And
You're talking about the store, I'm presuming?
What?
You're talking about in the store, right? Like
In the store, in the store. And then once, it gets DD4 kind of comes out of its bag, I bet you'll see it'll kind of trickle away and people won't see it anymore. But now that you know that the next DD Dark Dimension level is coming out, there's probably going to be a lot more purple gear available and a lot more orange gear regular levels coming out as well. So I mean, I would definitely say that would be a thing.
Nietzsche.
I think Crayvis wanted to jump on that.
Oh, Nietzsche had his hand up. He's just want to do it. And I think he's doing this because last week they were paying me out because Nietzsche had his hand up for like half an hour and I didn't see it.
Well, one of my big things that I think that they did well with going into Dark Dimension 4 specifically, so I know I deviated from Dark Dimension 3, is the fact that they did add those mini uniques to the stores, both or all three, the Gold Store, the Raid Store, and the War Store. Adding those mini uniques is something we did not have when Dark Dimension 3 came out. Dark Dimension 3 mini uniques was a terrible grind. And I think they learned from that, and they decided, okay, let's give them an avenue outside of just an orb to get to that point. So I do think that, and while, the crunch is still going to be rough, they're giving us an avenue to it, and they're making it less RNG based on getting that gear. So I do appreciate the way they're doing that for Dark Dimension 4.
Just a heads up on that. It's in the supply store and it's in the War Store. It's not in the Raid Store. The Raid Store doesn't have the new stuff. No. It's like before. I mean, they put them into the stores and it was like, well, this stuff is expensive, but you better start buying it because you're gonna need so much of it down the line. So you might as well get a little bit of a jump on it.
They didn't have it in the store right away.
No, not right away. They did. Yeah. They added it later. It's nice. It's nice that they put it in right away on this one.
I think before we go into like this super hate thing, because they increase, and I know increasing gear and increasing level can cause a bit of conflict within the community. There's got to be something to achieve, because shots ready, guys. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, I'm at the end game, right? So when it does get to that point, it is exciting to move forward. If you want to be the first, you got to spend, but eventually it does become easier for the grind and stuff like that to get in. So I think overall, I'm excited about something that I'm not going to see until 2022.
I would like to point out that everybody's pretty positive. There are still mini uniques to tier 14 that we can't farm yet. Doom Campaign 2's out.
Yep.
You still can't farm them all. So we didn't alleviate everything just yet.
I'm not saying everything's perfect, but I think overall, I think they're not doing too bad. And as I said, for those whales, those krakens, they're paying, they should get the advantage, I think. So they're obviously going to smash through. Doug mentioned earlier, it's why they've got bigger, like a wider roster, I guess, for ISOs and stuff like that. Goofy, cheap to play. You've said that you're pretty chilled. You'll get to level 80 when you get to level 80. Are you, because it's going to cost a lot of money, right? Are you specifically tailoring certain characters that you're going to jump to level 80 sooner rather than later, or are you going to be working on those characters that you're going to take Dark Dimension 4?
Yeah, so for the most part, that's pretty much how I always do it, is the characters that I'm actually going to be bringing to Dark Dimensions, that's who I'll bring up to, like, so Dark Dimension 2, 71 and 13, Dark Dimension 3, 75 and 14. Those are pretty much the only characters that I'll do. I might consider, some other characters for Arena, but that would mean that I already have prior knowledge that they're going to be good in Dark Dimension 4 as well. So I'll kind of like work around a team that way, kind of, sort of, right? Because I think some characters are probably just going to be good for Dark Dimension 3, like the Pimp Tech team is probably just going to be good for Dark Dimension 4. Not convinced, but essentially, I'll definitely wait. But yeah, for me, I'm not really rushing into it. I think I'm just waiting for people to figure that stuff out, and then I'll make a decision as to who I actually really want to bring to DD4 or 75.
I actually have, so Remenex, I believe he's still in the thing, but I actually like his advice, where he says, until a team's not doing what you need it to do, don't invest in it. So if it's already, so for example, we'll use Symbiotes, for example, right? Ask me a question. You can't, I want to show you can't ask me a question, but after party. When, oh man, chat is going off. So yeah, don't invest it. So for example, I'm using Symbiotes, right? Yeah, ask me a question. Ask me anything. Ask me anything. Yeah.
Anything. Okay.
Anything. Got some explaining to do. Yeah. So look, I always do story time. We can do story time in the after party when we're not recording. And I actually agree with Remnex's sort of thing where, like, you know, symbiotes, for example, if I can't get them doing it, then I put more resources in it because I'm a blubbery dolphin, I guess. I don't know. I don't know where I am in the spending. Sometimes I'll spend a bit, sometimes I won't. But so Lex, where are you taking these level 80s? Are you just gonna sort of just chill until you actually need it? Obviously, you're gonna do your dailies and stuff, but
yeah, to be honest, like I'm still trying to get some of my gear tier 13 characters up to level 75 still, so I'm just kind of, you know, taking it as it comes, just you know, cruising along. That's pretty much all you can do, you know.
Yeah. Dapper, with your alliance, is there a big push for you guys to hit level 80 sooner rather than later?
No, we don't have no push for actual levels.
Oh, well, no, because I was just thinking maybe there's because you're at the top end, thinking that maybe they want you to get that that Doctor Doom as quickly as possible, because obviously I know it's not out yet, but obviously 80's the benchmark with the gear.
Yeah, that's nowhere like in the top 20 alliance. They might require that, but I'm in a casual alliance.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, we're more focused on raids and wars.
Is there a big push in your alliance, Crayvis, for the 80s, or are we finding generally that people are just like, get around to it?
Absolutely not. No, you just do you. You don't need to. We've got some people in the cluster that are spending some buku bucks. So it's like, I'm already level 79. And I'm like, all right. I hope your visa's doing all right, buddy. It's all good. Like, you just get there when you get there. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm finding at the moment I'm still spending resources, so it's hard for me to hoard at the moment because I've built up those war teams. For those of you who have
to 80 doesn't mean you're going to have the gold to actually put it up to 80. So it doesn't matter when you get there. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, this game is about grinding anyways, you know. I mean, that's why we play it. We like to grind, you know, so you might as well just take your time and grind instead of shooting your Visa card.
Sage is checking out Nietzsche, and it looks like Nietzsche's checking out Sage. Yeah, I'm not too phased. Do we know, and I haven't seen it in the forums, but do we know the actual bump? So, you know, with 71 was like sort of the last bump until you hit 75, and 75 did increase some resources, but some characteristics, but mostly focused on focus and resistance. Do we know where the 80 is? It just a huge bump in health and damage this time around? Does anyone know?
So, from what I have gathered, I was just talking to one of my alliance mates. He hit 76 and started doing the equations for 74 to 75, 75 to 76, 76 to 77. And it looks like what they're focusing on in this bracket, I would assume it goes all the way up to 80. However, I'm not 100% sure yet, that they are focusing on health and damage a little bit more. It's not going to be the same, 70% increase you get from 70 to 71 on focus and resistance. However, it is going to be a higher percentage than you're going to get focus and resistance from 75 to 76 and so on. So the damage, health, and armor, I believe, is going to be the focus between 75 and 80.
And one thing that I am excited about that with the increase in a level, and people can disagree with me if they want, but I like it to help newer players go through content quicker. We're seeing that with ISO 8. Lex, we went through it last week, right? Like, Crayvis with his baby account, stuff like that. Like, with ISO, it is helping you go through content probably sooner than what you would have been. And I bet Nietzsche's really upset. I think, Nietzsche, you've been playing the longest out of all of us, or at least on the MSF crew, and it's really good to see that they are trying to speed up people, sort of thing. Not to the point where I walked into Dark Dimension, hit auto, and I smashed through it all, but it does enable you to sort of hit earlier. So guys, get your questions in. We're about to go into the Q&A section. Dapper, have we got some questions already lined up?
No, but I did get a request from Sleepy Weasel.
Mm-hmm.
So his request was to yeet my fedora.
Yeet! Oh.
Yeet! And then
just another one appears.
all right, so
That
we
one-
can start the.
That one feels
already.
Dapper. That one fits better.
That was over.
Get that other one because your
But it-
cats
it
are
fit
in there
my-
already and they shredding it, buddy.
Close.
While we get some questions in the chat for us, you guys know the drills. Obviously, you can either ask a specific streamer or all of us in general. Sen, as the guest, do you have any final points on your feelings, or you feel that you pretty much covered the stuff we talked about today?
So I was thinking.
Are you
All
gonna
right, so
eat
we're
another?
gonna try to keep this PG. It says, question, they fix, this comes from the Underdog 666.
Yeah.
It's a question, they fixed She-Hulk's neck, but what the F did they do with her crotch?
What? I'm gonna have to look at it.
Crutch. I imagine it was the middle.
Did they fix her neck?
They
we?
did.
Let me
They
have to
changed
go
the
look at
picture.
this.
She's
Let me
not.
go look at this.
She's not showing the muscles anymore. She's just sort of standing there.
Oh, God,
so she-
they-
look like Gumby. Oh,
They
please tell me it
changed.
doesn't look
They
like Gumby
changed her
anymore.
pose. She looks
Oh, they
better.
She does.
But yeah, her outfit looks a little weird.
I'm gonna look at her crutch. So yeah, before we kick off with the questions, Sen,
What the hell?
Jeopardy-
Yeah, I see what he's talking about.
do you have any points, Sen, before we move into Q&A?
No, I think it's been
Oh, this is
pretty
in
well
Q&A?
covered. I
Mhm.
can't think of anything specific.
No, that's fair enough. Sage, as the special guest as well, do you have any final comments before we do move into the Q&A section?
I'm good, actually. I think a lot of the stuff was covered.
I think it's positive. I know it's a bit of a grind, but I'm actually really enjoying the game. The last episode of this season will actually be going through the review of the year. So we'll probably be bouncing lots of Nietzsche since he's been playing the most. All right, Q&A section, guys. Bing, bada, boom. All right, Dapper, hit us with some questions.
All right, so King Burrito asks, who is the best one from the Pimp Tune to go all in for as needed for the Red Stars?
Ghost.
Ghost.
I'm going to say
Ghost.
Ghost.
And
then
man,
probably...
because he's got him already. He's already done. Because that's all they ever give me when I pulled him Elite 5s. Like, oh, good. Yeah, sweet.
Yeah,
Look-
Ghost is going to be the best. She's going to be the one you're going to want to invest the most into if you're going to do it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Then probably
I-
Yellow Jacket.
Yellow
really-
Jacket's very, very close. I don't think Yellow Jacket's going to rely on Red Stars as much as Ghost will.
Yeah. Goofy.
I think stature is probably going to be really important for Red Stars just because she is going to be your tank.
Mhm.
So you probably do want her to have, pretty decent Red Stars so that she can actually take damage. And I know Crayvis joked about Ant-Man, but, being that there is something built into her kit where if she does get below 50%, Ant-Man does taunt, that might also be pretty key too as well to have high Red Stars on him too. So that's just my thoughts. Maybe I'm wrong, but those are just the way I think about it.
Rem said that you're not going to need high red stars on that team. They really don't need tons of reds, and that Ghost isn't going to really be doing a lot of damage. She's mostly kit based.
Yeah, I believe Rem on that because
Mhm.
honestly, I've not really looked at the kits for that team. So.
Well, that's good though, isn't it? If it doesn't rely. From your video though, Ren, it did look like there was a lot of T4s required on that one. But Sage, do you have anything?
Actually, I feel like there were less T4s than most teams. Like he said, I believe he was like hesitant on most of the passives. I don't think he suggested anything else other than potentially passives. So I don't think that team's going to take a lot of T4s.
I think it was the
unless
ultimate.
completely just
I think it was
wasn't
the
paying
ultimate
attention.
too. The ultimate for Ghost, because that gives you that extra 5%. Yeah, the drains.
Right. Yeah.
I looked through them this morning, and it looked like the passives are good, especially because you want if you want them for DD4. It looked like the passives were worth the upgrades, and it basically looked like every one of them had like 2 upgrades, right? Like a special and a passive, or the ultimate and a passive for each one of the characters. So it's kind of like almost minimum investment of T4s, because you're gonna do at least 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it just feels like, you know, it's fairly decently balanced. And yeah, a lot of the guys on there are just like extra damage, extra damage, extra damage, extra damage. If you want to upgrade it, hey, you got extra damage. But those are a lot of times like the luxury upgrades for the characters.
And I'm very T4 poor at the moment, so I'm happy to have less T4s required on a team. I use the infograph server on Discord to, you know, sort of gauge on what I need and stuff like that. Why is Dapper's name Sage?
What?
What?
Dapper's name is Sage.
Yeah, it is. That's weird.
That's your fault.
It is my fault. I apologize, guys. Dapper, next question.
Yes, Brad C.
Yeah.
Asks, why did you guys kick Xero 365, and what is the worst thing about him?
He's on holidays, which is why he's not here. I don't know. The worst thing about Xero, I don't want to answer that. Someone else answer that.
Where's that? I got a Xero update.
Obviously a troll joke.
He has the best. He has the best hugs. Has the best hugs. Nietzsche's pretty good as well.
What?
Alright, so the following one this is for Nietzsche.
Mm-hmm.
And it's from Zero365. Says, why aren't you the Kraken of the crew? You're a peasant.
Because I'm free to play and Dapper is the Kraken.
I seen one earlier was for Crayvis.
Uh-oh. I'm excited.
He's like, what's the arm butter?
It was asking how's the new GPU.
Ooh, the new
and
GPU.
how's it?
Fantastic.
And how's it working for you?
From Mr. Pony. He sent me a graphics card. Mm-hmm. He sure did. And it was about 3 years newer than the one that I had. And I think it's about a 2017 model. So, like, let me tell you, fam, we's moving into the current ages here. And it's working out really well so far. I was able to find a power supply I could cannibalize and use for. It's got to get a little bit more RAM, and I think the beast should be about up to snuff at least.
Oh, he sent you one of the 1070s?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a really good card.
Oh my god, like it looks so much better on the beast than it does my laptop, which I run most of my things on, but the laptop has 18 gigs of RAM, whereas my beast only has 12, so the beast has some issues because I use it to run stream too, so I just blitz on it because sometimes it crashes. BlueStacks is a heavy program, fam.
Yeah, it is. So,
Thunderdog has another question.
Which one?
He's got a good question.
It's probably.
I'll read it for you if you want.
Yeah, go ahead because I can't find
Right.
it.
His question was shit. Moved on me, of course it did.
So if there was one. Go ahead.
one Toons kit that you could change, who would it be, and what would the one thing that it would do?
Sen, you're first.
Good question. That's a good question.
It is a good question.
I already know mine.
You said I'm first?
Yeah, special guest. You know, you should be first.
Oh, I have no idea what it would do, but it would definitely be Spider-Man. Because what the fuck? Like, sorry. Like, what the hell is up with one of the most popular characters in Marvel, and he's completely, just completely crap.
Same thing with Wolverine.
Yeah, same thing with Wolverine. But Wolverine has at least gotten some love over the last couple of years. A little upgrade here and there just to try to bring him up a little. It's not good enough, but at least they're doing something.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't done anything with Spider-Man. Like, I don't know what it would do. I would love to see him go into Iron Spider mode if they could do that. Like, give him an empowered option or something. That would be pretty awesome.
Sage.
Iron Man. He's considered technically a legendary, and if he is supposed to be, well, what the heck? Change the guy's entire kit, man.
Yeah.
At least make him be like, Hulkbuster or something. I mean, make it
that would be
relevant,
cool.
make it fun. I mean, the top 3 characters that are the face of the entire Marvel universe are Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Wolverine. I mean, it's just so obvious.
And they're like the worst characters in this game.
Terrible.
Yeah, Iron Man
The
should have that
worst
laser
legendary
attack he
class
does.
ever.
Mm-hmm.
Make his
Spider-Man always dodges that one.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to see maybe his repulsors on his regular, and then maybe change his AOE to maybe like a Hulkbuster, where Hulkbuster comes in and the Hulkbuster actually boosts everybody else, but also plays a tank for the rest of the team. Not necessarily that they need it, but that would be cool. And then you can still keep the Unibeam, but make the Unibeam actually stronger, and then you can make a different passive for everybody. Maybe I've been dreaming about this.
Goofy.
Yeah, I think those are good ideas.
His special is pointless. Anyway, go on.
So he got taken out. I mean, he was the original legendary because he's the legendary from beta, and if you had him in beta, you were just basically destroying stuff because he was that powerful back in the day. But he got taken down to the retired option for a while. There's been a rumor that Fury's going to get retired for quite a while now. When the hell is that happening? We need to get him out of the rotation.
Yeah, he does. He needs to get out of there.
Goofy, who's your number one?
I get him on both accounts. I'm sure his mind will do it.
I actually maybe nobody's really mentioned this before, but for me it would be Shuri. I think Shuri is a good character, but I do think that I don't know if power crept is the right word, but a lot of her abilities are really good in raids, but I think that her kit could be stronger if she could do some of the same things that she does in raids, also in arena. I think that would be a really good one, I don't know exactly how you would change it. Give her higher health too. Her health is really low, just give her some higher health also. But if there's the one thing I would change with Shuri is just allow for her to also be good in other areas and other modes other than just raids. Because I just feel like as Valley said, she's a legendary Shuri. I mean, come on now, like give her a little something.
Yeah, we were talking about that actually. I unlocked her. I've got her kind of in the background, but I'm just not using her at this stage. But obviously, I'm a bit lower than you guys. Nietzsche, what is your character?
I mean, couple were mentioned, however, going outside of that, I would say Nebula. I think she should have some synergy, Nebula and Gamora maybe with Thanos. She's pretty much a useless character at the moment. She's got a decent kit, but it's not worth much. Her Night Nurse, although I'm pretty sure we have Night Nurse on the horizon, but Nebula I've not heard any rumors about, and I think she does need some sort of rework.
Lex.
Yeah, so we already mentioned him. I agreed. I think Wolverine maybe should get a little bit more love. I think he's obviously very popular in the Marvel universe and with a lot of fans. And I don't know necessarily if I'd say I'd like to see a Spider-Man rework as much as I'd like to see maybe a different Spider-Man. Such as the Tom Holland suit Spider-Man. The one with the spider legs on the back.
That's Peter. Yeah, that's the Iron Spider.
Something like that would be really cool. I don't know necessarily because Spider-Man's he's OG, and I think he should be a beginning character because he's a very original Marvel universe character, and so maybe if they just came out with a newer, better Spider-Man, that might solve that problem. So
it's called Symbiote Spider-Man.
Yeah,
symbiote.
But no, I see what you're saying. Iron Spider would be cool. Crayvis.
All right, I've got a couple. One of them's not going to be popular, but it's going to be very cathartic for me. I would like to add an ability to Cyclops, where he tries to talk everybody out of attacking and then goes and cries in a corner. That's all he ever did in the damn cartoon. But on a more practical note, I would like to add a taunt to Venom, because he is the beefcake of the symbiotes. If we could just get him to taunt, if Anti-Venom could throw a taunt on regular Venom, then maybe Scream could survive 2 seconds and kill somebody. That would be sweet. So that'd be neat for me.
You're not going to get your 2-turn defense up, though.
It's not going to happen. I just find that in the later Ultimates nodes, I can't do enough damage to get somebody in the red, and then I have 3 dead symbiotes, and one of them is always Anti-Venom. So I'm like, oh, well, I guess we're done now.
Dapper.
So mine's been taken quite a few times, but I'm gonna, yeah, of course. But I'm gonna actually do a little curveball and go with Wakanda and say Okoye. If they will fix Okoye to work how she really intends to be working at, I think that she would the Wakandas could have the potential to be the apex in Raid. But she's just so out of touch. And then another one I will add is Mantis. It's just, I feel that if she could heal the whole entire group more, and they will take the guaranteed stun for her first attack and do it, at 40%, so you can get it more rapidly.
Yep.
Those two will make her matter, because her biggest issue was that she was great in raids for a week or two until Minova came, and then everybody forgot about Mantis. And I do have a 7 red star Mantis, so I would love to have her useful.
She's actually a fairly good healer. It just depends on the characters. If you run her as that 5th for Wave 1 Avengers, she keeps Hulk up really well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
I hate Beefy Hulk. That is one of my things that I hate the most. Especially
Thank you
when
for the raid, Capone Gaming. Thank you for the raid, bro.
Yeah, thanks for the raid, guys. We're doing the MSF Roundtable. We do it every Friday. Q&A section. So if you've got some questions, chuck them in. My character is going to be a little controversial. I think Symbiote Spider-Man should be better. He's one of the best characters in the game. I want him number 1 in the game. I love Symbiote Spider-Man. I love the design. I have comic issue Spider-Man 300. It's the first time when Venom comes in. He should be better. No, I agree. OG Spider-Man.
It'll be all right.
Yeah, I know. I need to give him 7 stars. Next question, Dapper. Chat's exploding at me. Symbiote Spider-Man, he's already awesome. I want him better. I want him to be able to smack down Thanos.
He can, as long as you get his web sling up and he doesn't have a taunt on him.
I kind of lost it through all this raid stuff, but they were talking about
welcome.
how do we feel about the patches, and do we feel that MSF is getting better or worse to each patches?
We just talked about that, so but we'll go like an overview. Sen, what do you reckon? Overview. Do you think the game is getting better or staying the same?
I think it's a mixed bag. I think it's getting better in some aspects, while some of the other stuff is getting worse. Because you can't go a single patch without getting 2-3 bugs and stuff just not getting fixed. I think the game stuff is getting better, but the customer support is kind of falling behind. So hopefully they can get their shit together and do a little better on the testing part of it, but that hasn't been the case so far. Other than that, I think the stuff that's coming to the game is good. The upgrades are good. The new fixes are good. They're listening to the community. They're like, well, you want roster setups better? Okay, here you go. There's always something that's gonna need to be fixed. They're getting around to stuff, which is nice, but the constant bugs is problematic.
Problematic. Sage.
Yeah, to say the least.
I definitely feel like the game's getting better. I agree with Sen. At the same time, I think as the game and the game is growing and what the things are happening throughout, the year, you can obviously tell from January was absolutely almost to be in shambles. It's a complete 180 at this point. People are loving the game. People are really into the game. A lot of the new characters are better. They're stronger, more detailed. I do agree with Sen though, is that probably maybe they got to work on with some of the CS, but all that's it can be relevant or to something else, So, but yeah, I think it's trending up.
Lex.
So I think the game is great. I think it is. I like where the game is, like Sen said, I like where the game's going in some aspects. Sometimes I feel like they rain characters on us a little bit too much. They're basically just stacking up the mountain higher and higher, especially for even earlier players. And then on top of that, you have so much of your roster that is not being utilized that they could find ways to have you utilize them as opposed to just dropping new characters on you. But that's their game. They want to make money and they find places they want you to invest. So, but overall, I like it. I think it's great. I'm excited to keep playing the game and see where it goes in the months or years to come. Hopefully, it doesn't make me go broke. But I love the community and I love the game, so I don't see myself stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, I think the game, the community is what's really special about this game. Great community. Nietzsche.
Yeah, so I think the game's heading in the right direction. I think it's definitely improved over time. I do agree with Lex there that they're still showering us with characters on a basis that's requiring the whales and the krakens to buy more and more, and not providing characters at a farmable rate at the same rate that they are releasing characters. So they're releasing characters faster than they're allowing us to farm characters. There are still a lot of characters out there that are not farmable, and we need to, whether it's a schedule of, okay, this character came out X amount of time ago, let's enter them into some sort of farmable aspect of the game, and we're going to release characters at that same rate. I just feel like they aren't doing that specifically. They're releasing them faster than they're allowing us to farm.
Yeah. Crayvis.
All right. I feel like the game itself is run by a company who likes to do things to about 95%, right? They like to get things almost done. It's why we can almost farm everything that we need to get to T14 now. And we can almost farm like our Black Order. Release cadence, I think, is what Nietzsche was searching for. They need one of those bad. But like, we still can't farm a Red Skull. Like, I know he's gonna be one of them stupid characters that they put in premium orbs or something stupid like that. But at the same time, like, he came out a while ago, so they try real hard to get these modes out that they want to sell, and they do a pretty good job with that, with the exception of their bugs, as was noted. But they never really fix the other stuff. They always create a way to give you a headache and to make you spend money or to wait. So the customer service aspect that that they were talking about earlier really kind of comes to that. And if they can improve that, I'd be really happy with it. I wouldn't have any complaints with it. But for the most part, they're more hit than miss with me.
Goofy.
Yeah, personally, so it's mixed bag. I think that there's some things that they're doing well. Partially too as well. I mean, I know that we complain about there being a lot of characters being released and things like that. The complaint originally before was that characters weren't being released enough. So, we kind of created this problem, in a sense. So I'm not going to complain too much about it, but I mean, I will. But at the same time, I won't want to because everybody has it already. But I will say one of the things that I do appreciate that they have done, I do think that they've actually made the game a lot easier for people who don't want to spend money in the game. I do think there's a lot of things that they've done to improve, you just being able to get characters. Although yes, I don't believe, so let's say like with new legendaries, you at least, if you play the game well and you're late enough in the game, you might miss the legendary on the first pass, but you could get the legendary on the second pass. They have made them somewhat more available in terms of farming, things like that. So I do think there's a lot of good things for people who don't want to spend money in the game. Mm-hmm. I do think that battle pass will also be good for people who, at least to be able to get a little ahead of where you were before, with the free tier battle pass aspect. So I will say this, like, although I don't like a lot of things, the bugs, I don't like the frequency of the character releases. They have done a lot of things in this game that's actually made it much easier for players who don't spend or who are cheap to play to actually still be able to stay competitive.
And Dapper.
So for me, you guys, everybody kind of nailed a piece what I was thinking, but also to include that I do appreciate that even though they're having bugs and stuff like that, they are more responsive to the community. They're letting us know now, okay, we're looking into it. It's not the answer we want, and yes, to give us generic response and stuff like that, but at least they're trying to do a little something. They're trying to do a little bit more than customer support. We'll look into it, and that's all you will hear. And from my side, it's completely different from all you guys. I still don't feel like we have enough characters. My lowest is Stitcher, and he is already tier 9.
But yeah.
Level 50 or 60.
9? I thought you were a Kraken. What happened?
I know. What?
Hey, I'm not as good as Nietzsche.
No, my Stitcher's not too nice.
Kraken's for free. He's magical that way.
He's magical, yeah.
So the thing is, I think you guys are both right. They are releasing it too fast because it's constantly 3 or 4 characters. It's too much to keep up on. There's not enough energy. There's not enough materials. There's not enough gold to keep up on all the new characters coming out. They are being too slow on catching up the characters that are not farmable. Like Red Skull is still not farmable, stuff like that. Minerva's not farmable. Stop talking about it in chat. That is not a farmable character. Neither is Yo-Yo. Being available in the orb does not count as farmable.
Just like Symbiote Spider-Man farmable. He's not.
Right. He's got more of a chance than Yo-Yo. But I think Dapper's also right. They still don't have enough characters. I think they went from not putting off enough stuff and people wanting more content to pushing more characters at a time than needed, but the content is there. So they are doing an event for a character almost every single time. They are doing milestone rewards for characters almost every time. Like, we don't know what, Yellowjack is probably going to be a blitz. Ghost, not Ghost Rider. Ghost might be a milestone type of character for blitz. So we don't know that because we don't have a confirmation on it. But like, if they were doing 2 characters a month instead of 3 or 4, and bringing out 1 character as a farmable, that'd be a better balance. Yes, they want their money, but the money's coming in from a lot of different sources, and Scopely's been doing a lot more of, here's this $1 offer, here's this $2 offer, these $5 offers, and they're getting more people converted into actually like, oh hey, I can improve my account. I only spent $2. Okay, that's great. Oh look, I spent another $2. They're getting more and more people coming in and like willing to drop a couple of bucks here and there, and which is what Foxnext wasn't doing. All these character offers that were always expensive, and the little offers were never there. I think that balance is. I think it's just they're putting out a little too much to keep up on. At 2 characters per patch would be like a perfect little spot of like, yes, I can keep up on these guys, and I can put in a little bit of backlog. But it's also Marvel. They have 7 years worth of characters that they can release at this pace. Even without dropping the pace.
So get your shots ready, guys. So I play Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Coming from that game where they only release characters, there's no new content. They're getting better with the communication, I think, and we're going to leave it on a positive thing. I actually think the game's doing pretty well. Yes, there's a couple of spots, the orb fiasco and a couple other bugs like missing Phoenix, but I think overall they are improving. I think they are doing better stuff for the community, and I think as a person and whenever I look at stuff, I look at the free-to-play experience, because Kraken's by the definition are going to buy pretty much everything anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But they do want characters obviously to buy, and so I think overall it's been pretty good. And as you guys said, they are giving a lot of free stuff. So Av, he's in the chat. He's unlocked a fair few characters. Not a guppy, I would say that he's spending is a guppy, and yet he's enjoying this. And yeah, the $2 the microtransactions have been really good. Do we have one more question before we kick off?
Yes.
Yep.
Actually, we have.
Nietzsche. I saw in the thing. Nietzsche, do you want to go first because you had a question you want to answer?
Well, I did send Dapper to. I think he was going to address 2 of them.
Oh, okay, sorry, Dapper.
Yeah, what was that, Nietzsche? I'm not sure if I was.
I sent you 2 questions that I thought we should answer.
Oh, did you?
Okay.
On Discord?
Apparently you didn't pay attention to me.
I'm looking.
One of them is from Thunderdog. He asked, in PvP, would you like to see more in-game rewards or a event system to give stuff like red stars or something? So, in all honesty, I don't care about the rewards or the red stars. I want them to promote PvP in some way. And so if they add it, okay, that's great. I just want them to add an event, preferably some type of ladder event, tournament type of event that gets people more interested in PvP. Now, I don't think at this moment you can add rewards that are going to benefit the player as much, since a lot of people dislike PvP. You gotta entice them with some sort of skin. That's a big topic. Well, how do you introduce skins into the game? Well, you could introduce it through PvP. It's not something that's going to benefit the player, but if a player wants to try and get that skin, they might have to do PvP. So
how do we still not have that in the game?
I
Skins.
have no idea.
I want
This
Storm
game
with
is
the 80s
fun.
or 90s cartoon.
Yeah, I think
That's a perfect introduction.
I think skins would be cool.
I've got the other question, Nietzsche.
Go ahead.
I scrolled up, found it. The other question was, other than Blitz Sim, what is the quality of life change that you would most like to see?
Sen? Oh, sorry. Was that directly just to Nietzsche or was that to all of us?
No, that was directed to everyone.
Sen.
He wanted it.
I think a better option of building the teams, like for the roster control, would be a great addition. To be actually, it's a phone game. To be actually able to press down on the character and move him to a spot where I want him to be, instead of unselect, move everybody, find him in the roster, put him back in.
That shit's annoying.
It's a freaking mobile game. Press the damn thing and move them over to where they're supposed to be.
You have to select 2 characters you're not taking just so you can have a space,
Yeah. Sage?
Remind me the question. Sorry.
So what? So Sim's
Quality of
coming.
life.
Quality of life.
Aside from Blitz Sim, quality of life change to the game that you want the most.
The UI. I think the UI needs some adjustments. I think that would help me a lot better, especially during stream. Like being able to sort things a little bit more cleaner. I know it's a mobile game. I know it's basically through BlueStacks as an emulator.
Yeah.
But I think the UI could really help us make things look a little bit smoother, cleaner, work a little bit more efficient.
Sure.
I've always thought.
Lex.
Something they could improve in the game. I would like to see, for PvP, I'd like to see maybe a little bit shorter ban times, because I think PvP matches take way too freaking long. I think skins would be cool. That'd be kind of cool. I know Sage says no to skins, but I think I think it'd be cool to change it.
Skins.
Well, just, because like, what if you want to use, I don't know, the newer looking Wolverine, or you want the classic looking Wolverine? They don't have to have like 10 different skins. Just give them 1 or 2 or 3 maybe.
Buy the She-Hulk that doesn't look like dog shit.
Goofy. Sorry. Lex.
I agree with Sage. I think some of the utility could be changed a little better. Like same thing Sen was saying. Like we should be able to move the characters where we want and have to select them and unselect them, because that's like a huge thing with me too, having to always move them around and for your placement and all that. So I think that would be cool. Squad management. I would like some type of squad management where you could, set as many different squads as you want under as many different tabs as you want. These are these squads, this squad, that squad, these squads. I think that would help out a lot too.
Yeah, where the hell are our safe squads for raid and for arena?
That's what I'm saying. Some type of better squad.
It's coming. Goofy, anything that hasn't been mentioned?
Yeah, that did actually get brought up.
That was actually literally what I was going to talk about, was the squad management, just being able to actually do arena squad, raid squads, whatever. Like, that would be nice.
Dapper, anything that hasn't been
Yes. So, a better way to level up, instead of, clicking your training mats and, to the side to whatever level, you should have an option that says max level, max gear, stuff like that. And also, I know a lot of games that I used to play, whenever you unlock the character, they will give you a special promotion, like, oh, you want to get this person to tier, let's say like 9 for $20 or something like that. So stuff like that. So it will bring your level and your tier to that thing, and then you're in charge of doing the rest.
Cool. That sounds cool.
Dragon Champions made so much money from that thing. Just like you unlock a character and you're like, here's a $3 offer to get, all this gear. Oh, you got that one? Here's a $9 offer to get more stuff. Here's a $25 offer. And people would just be like, yes, give me more. And it was like,
yeah, I was in one of those waves of people when we were migrating from Galaxy of Heroes over to Dragon of Champions, and we were going crazy on that game.
they made so much money just by having that option there. Like, I think it was like $5 was the first one, because you're like, I got this brand new character. It's gonna be really good. $5 to give him like a shitload of gear and get myself like a 1.5 million gold. Yeah, sure. Here's $5. Oh, the next offer is $10. I might as well. I already spent $5.
For a dime in for a dollar, right?
Yeah, Crayvis, anything that hasn't been mentioned?
I want them to remove raid energy. I'm so freaking sick of like, all right, well, I gotta log in the morning, and then I gotta log in at night, and then if we want 100% it, I'm gonna have to set an alarm in the morning so that it doesn't. I'm so done with it. Why can't I just fight it when I want to?
Nietzsche.
So
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Nietzsche.
So I have two things mainly. Someone mentioned the UI. I think adding filters to all of the different modes with the same filters you have to your main roster. So, example being PvP, you only get filters for 5 different things: your blaster, protector, support, whatever, controller. However, you get all these different types of filters in your main roster. Why can't you just adapt that to all the different game modes and give you all those different types of filters? That's one. The second is save squads to each game mode, and someone also touched on that. Is I want a save squad for arena. Really, it really doesn't need to be that big. I'm not going to have a lot of arena teams. I want to save squads for raids. I want to save squads for blitz, and I want to save squads for war offense and war defense, basically. But and for PvP. And inside of those save squads, I want ISOs saved. I want to be able to change my ISOs based on a save squad. I don't want to have to jump from one mode to another and be like, okay, well, I need this ISO for this team based on this game mode. So, and obviously I always think PvP, there's PvP ISOs and there's PvE ISOs. And unless there's money on the line, I am not changing my ISOs to PvP. So I want a game mode and I want save squads that will actually save that information for me, so I don't have to change that every time.
We're going to finish up there, guys, with the outro. Look, join my Discord. There's a section in there where you can ask your questions, and we'll get to them. Apologies if we didn't get around to it. It's just a time thing. But thank you very much for asking your questions. There was some really good stuff there. Sen, before we finish, do you have any closing statements?
No, thank you guys for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Dapper.
No, just make sure to follow and subscribe to the YouTube channel and support us as well on Twitch and YouTube.
Goofy.
Yeah, as usual, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's always a pleasure. We get to do this, on a Friday night or Saturday morning now. So I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you guys so much for your support and continued support. And be blessed and be safe.
Crayvis.
Oh my God. I want you to call on Sage first because I want to do my thing, but I gotta know what Sage.
I was hoping that Sage would replace Xero, but he's always last. He's always last.
I got something for Xero. I just want to see what
Okay.
Sage is gonna do. I want to see if I can add.
Sage.
I was just gonna do what Xero does. That's all. I was just copying Xero. I was filling in his spot. So
You
I was just-
should do it.
Yeah,
Do
Xero
it.
said- Xero said, "Who's gonna say if I find a like or if I find a dislike on the video, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you." There you go, Xero. Somebody did it.
We love you, Xero. Crayvis.
All right. Xero is out right now. Okay. He found somebody who disliked him, and he's out right now, and he's fucking handling it. Sorry for the duck sound, but he's taking care of it. So you're gonna have to knock that nonsense off. Y'all understand? Please.
Nietzsche.
Right. I told you I had you, Xero.
Yeah, quack in the
I mean,
chat.
I planned on honoring Xero as well with the whole, if you dislike this, I'm going to find you. And I don't know, whatever he's doing. But also,
He's probably doing it right now.
Thank everyone who comes out. Love you all. Thank you for supporting us. If you haven't already, subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch. Ask us questions. All of us are open to, helping out anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you again for coming out and watching us.
Lex.
Yeah, if you haven't checked any of our channels out on Twitch, make sure you guys do that. We would love to have any one of you. Sage, Sen Raven, Dapper, Crayvis, Goofy, Nietzsche, me. We'd love to see you guys at any one of our streams. And also special thanks to the chat. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have this. We want to have a round table. Reminex, thanks for coming. Kenshi, all you guys, we appreciate you. We love you. And we love doing this every week. Thank you, Mendogs, for putting this together. I'm honored to be a part of it, and I look forward to it every week.
Sage.
I want to say thank you for letting me be myself again.
I want to say a special thank you to Sage too, because he tipped me twice on song requests in 2 weeks in a row. We're gonna try a third week this time.
Guys, thanks very much for coming out. Sen and Sage, thank you very much for being special guests on this week's show. I did notice in the comment, we do have this on podcasts, and we're on Spotify, Apple, and a bunch of other ones. Hit me up on Discord if you want to get the link for that, and I do have a YouTube channel. We do record this, and we do chuck it on YouTube. I usually have to go through it and edit out the quack sounds because of YouTube, right? But again, guys, thanks very much for the support you've shown this channel. It's absolutely amazing. I have a ball doing this, and definitely being live has been amazing. Olivia Munn is not hotter than Stacey. Anyway, guys, don't go anywhere because we are going to the after party. So, guys, join the Discord where we just have a couple of drinks after and, just talk whatever. But the camera is rolling. It's off rolling then. So, guys, have a good one. We'll see you next week. We have Sleepy Weasel next week. We're super excited to have him on. If you don't know him, check him out. But he will be on next week. So, have a good one, guys. Much love. Cheers.
Cheers.